Alright, back to the front end and replacing these bushings and knuckles. I've grabbed the other 3 knuckles today at Deere, and I've got the knuckles just sitting here in the vise. They're not really clamped down or anything. I just use the vise as a device to hold it up. That way I'm not scarring the bearing surface. Here's the bushing that I put in the other day. And then we're going to put this bushing in on this bottom part right here. Here's basically the dust cover for the bottom. Oops, as I drop it. So that, again, I got to clean it off again, but that's the dust cover for the bottom. You can see in there the sides actually still have their ridges in it, so I was pretty happy about that. Since the grease comes in here down at the bottom, these bushings do appear to be somewhat directional. You notice that the grease line, I don't even know what you call that, doesn't go all the way to the bottom, but on the other side here it does go all the way to the top. So I'm going to install the bushings. I'm not going to put it through the threads. I'm actually going to come at it from the opposite angle, but I'm going to put the bushing right in through there like that. So I'm going to get my jig all set up. I've got my threaded rod here with washers, and then I got my wrenches and everything, and we will go from there. Once I get everything set up, I'll go ahead and see if I can set the camera up, and then that way you can see me kind of push it in there. Alright, so I've got it in here. I actually went ahead and put a cloth in the vise here, and then I clamped it down because I was having a little trouble holding it. This bushing's going a little harder than the previous one did. But basically I'm just using a wrench and just slowly working the bushing in there. It's going in, it started nice and straight, and so it's going in nice and straight. It just takes a little bit of time and effort to do it. Gives your arms a workout. I'll show you my progress so far. So you can see that's the bushing right there, and then my washers are on top of that. And I'm just going to keep plugging away at it. Alright, got the bushing in. You can see it's flush mounted there. Everything looks good. Now the moment of truth is the pin. So clearly this pin's got a little bit of wear. I don't know if you can see it all that great. But these pins are really expensive. They're like 160 bucks. And I'm not complaining about the cost. It's just the fact that, I mean, this is a hunk of steel, and it's probably really high quality steel. So it's going to be expensive. Plus it has to be machined and everything for the bolt that holds the pin in. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put it in there just like it was. So you can see the thrust washer marks there where the thrust washers eat into it, and then you can see hopefully you can see a little bit of wear there. And if you've watched the previous videos, you know that there was quite a bit of wear, and that is much better. Undoubtedly I'll have to replace these pins at some point in the future, depending on how much I use the machine, but that is much better compared to what it was prior to replacing the bushing. So very happy about that. Like I said, got the bushing nice and in there and everything. New grease zerks, so I think this knuckle is ready to go back on the tractor, and we'll go from there. I've still got this knuckle to do, so I'll go ahead and put the new bushings in this knuckle and test out the pin, and then I will get a video of me putting the knuckles back on the tractor. Alright, so I have both knuckles done now. Actually took me quite a while to do the second knuckle. In fact, I thought I had ruined one of the bushings. I missed with one of my washers, and I bent the edge of the bushing, but fortunately I was able to take a piece of really fine grit sandpaper and sand that small imperfection down. I don't think it'll have any long-lasting effects. We will see. But yeah, so both pins are in. They're much better than they were. So we'll go ahead and get the knuckles back on the tractor, and then we'll put the hubs back on, and then we can go ahead and put the wheels back on, and it'll be on all four feet again, or all 4 shoes, and we can continue with the pony motor rebuild. So I'll get set up to do that, and probably what I'll do is I'll show one, just installing one of these, and I'll go ahead and install the other one, and we'll go from there. Alright, so first thing for putting these axles, these knuckles back on, we've got our thrust washers. Our thrust washers go opposite, so the 2 square edges, there's a lip underneath here that will hold the top one, and then there's a lip right here that will hold the bottom one. So goes on here something like this, and then you should be able to slide the knuckle on, and then go ahead and put this back on there, put the pin back in, and once the pin's partially in, I'm actually going to let it hang out there for just a second. I forgot to take the nut off of my taper lock pin here, and then we're going to put the taper lock pin in, because it goes in here. Go. Alright, so there's the taper lock, so that'll hold it in, and I can already tell you that that feels much better compared to what it was. It's by no means perfect, but it is certainly much better than it was previously. So certainly no complaints there. But I'm going to go ahead and get this all tightened up, and get the taper lock pin all put in there and everything else, and then I'll come back and I'll actually move it up and down and see what kind of play we have in it.